The book Progress and Poverty was written by the American economist Henry George. At the time of its release, the US was struggling with several economic issues, high levels of inequality, monopolies, etc. And it quickly became very popular and sold millions of copies because it provided a simple solution to solve these issues. The book had one simple message. People should be allowed to keep the wealth that they have created themselves, but economic value derived from land should belong equally to all members of society. The thing I like about this book is that it challenges the well-known political ideologies. So it's not socialism, because we allow people to keep the wealth they create themselves. But it's not capitalism either, because economic value derived from land that should be taxed. Henry George, he was an economist, and as an economist he understood to look at the overall picture. He was not just viewing taxes as something good or something bad. Instead, he was asking the question of which taxes that are the most beneficial to society and which that are the most harmful. So let's go back to the original message. People should be allowed to keep wealth that they create themselves, but we should put a tax on value derived from land. The first part of the statement, that's kind of obvious. If someone's working extra hard, or if someone has created an invention that is changing people's lives, then it's only fair that these people are allowed to reap the fruits of their hard labor. However, the second part is a bit more complex, because why should this be any different when it comes to land? So let's take a look at that. See, land is different from other products because it's a natural and a limited resource. Take a look at any city, San Francisco or New York. They each have a limited number of livable square meters. And there's no way for anyone to create more land in these cities. So if someone owns an enormous home in the city center, then that also means that there will be less available square meters for others. So look at the other examples that I talked about previously. Someone creating an invention that is changing people's lives, or someone working extra hard. The fact that they decide to do so, that's not really changing my opportunities. And it's not really a problem for me. I still have the same opportunities to get rich and same opportunities to go out and create inventions, work extra hard, or whatever I want to do. But it's different with land. If a few people owns a large part of the land in a city, then this means that there is less square meters available for everyone else. So to some extent you could say that owning a lot of land is actually diminishing the opportunity for others. It's also one of the reasons why Henry George talks about land ownership being a kind of monopoly. You know, one of the characteristics of a monopoly is that the supply, in this case land, is limited. Sometimes with monopolies, people can choose to fight them. Say that someone has a monopoly on gold. Well, to some extent you can choose not to use gold. You can go with silver, you can go with other metals. But with land it's different, because everyone needs a home, everyone needs a place to live. So not only is land a limited resource, it's also a resource that everyone needs. See, the strangest thing is that if you look at today's society and today's tax system, look at the person who has created an invention, look at the person who's working extra hard. These are just the people who are getting taxed even more. And on the other hand, someone who is, diminishing the opportunity of others by owning a lot of land and meaning less square meters for everyone else, these people are not getting taxed. Even though they might be making an income on this. And that's because we don't have a tax on land. The book Progress and Poverty also describes how cities develop over time. Actually, it even inspired a theorem called the Henry George theorem that provides a simple guideline for how cities should be run and how decisions should be made. Before giving you the theorem, let me just explain what's wrong with the current way that cities make decisions. Let's say we have a city council, and the city council is considering to build a park because this will raise the quality of life for people living in the city. The tenants, they are willing to pay more because of the park. And so naturally, the city council decides to build the park. And then the land in the city will increase in value because of the new park. And as a natural consequence of this, the landlords, they will increase the rents. So let's look at this from an economic point of view. Who's winning and who's losing here? Well, the city council, they are not winning. They're losing because they're just putting money into a park without getting anything in return. Are the tenants winning? Well, yes, but also no, because they do get a park, but on the other hand, they also have to pay for it. So to some extent, it's just a transaction for them. In the end, it's actually the landlords who are winning, because due to the park, their land increases in value, and so they are able to get a higher return on their land. And is this a problem? You know, we were just talking about how if someone's working extra hard, or if someone has created an invention that's helping people, then it's only fair that these people are able to reap the fruits of their hard labor. Well, Henry George believed that the scenario with the landlords is different, and it's because the landlords, they don't actively go out and improve the value of their land. No, in this case it is actually the society who pays for a park, who constructs a park, and then the landlords who simply just have a piece of land that grows in value. And just like if people in general create wealth, then of course these people should be allowed to keep the wealth. Isn't it also fair that if society creates wealth, then society is able to keep its wealth? So what would be a better way to construct all of this? So what's the problem? It is that the city is not being run like a business. And a business would never make an investment that doesn't give a return. So is there anything we can do to make it profitable for the city council to build this park? Well, if we have a tax on land, then let's take a look at the scenario again. The city council builds a park. Due to the park, land increases in value, and due to the tax, the city will get a return because of the tax. And the better the investment, you know, the better the park is, the more it makes the land increase in value, well, the more money the city is getting back. So now we're running the city like a business. And what's the best part of this? Well, as the city gets money back, it can use this money to build better infrastructure, to build more parks. You know, it's becoming profitable for everyone suddenly who is living in the city. So everyone's winning when the city is being run like a business. Interestingly enough, despite the fact that the book was written by an American economist, it had its biggest influence other places in the world. So if you look at Denmark, you look at Australia, New Zealand, see, all of these countries have actually followed Henry George's advice, and all of these countries actually have some sort of land value tax implemented in their current tax system. So with all of this, we're going to end the video here. But if you like this kind of content and you want to help support the channel, then make sure to subscribe, give the video a like, and if there are any other economic topics that you want us to cover, then let us know by commenting in the comment section down below.